Hello everyone, this is Kavita here. Today we are going to learn how to find square root of perfect square numbers. First, I will explain you what do you mean by the term square root and what are perfect square numbers. Now what is square root? First, I will start with the term square. Square of a number means a number multiplied by itself. Now for example, 4 squared. 4 squared means 4 multiplied by 4 and you get the answer 16. Another example, 5 squared. 5 squared is 5 multiplied by 5, that is 25. So here the square root is just the opposite of the square. Alright, so if I say square root of 16 means I'm looking for a number that I multiply by itself to get 16. So what number is that? That number is 4. Another example, square root of 36 means what number is multiplied by itself to get 36. So the number is 6 times 6. Alright, so in this example, 16 is the square of 4. And 4 is the square root of 16. And the square root symbol is, this is a symbol for the square root, and it is also called the radical. So the square root of 16 is 4. Now here is the table. You see numbers from 1 to 10 and their squares. Now for example, number 1 the square is 1, for number 2 the square is 4, and for number 3 the square is 9. 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5 is 25, 6 times 6 is 36, and the number 7 the square is 49, for 8 it's 64, 9 times 9 is 81, 10 times 10 is 100. Now you notice one thing, that 1 and 9, all this combination, 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6. Alright, if you add all this combination, you get 10. And all the above number combinations have the same last number of their squares. So let's see the combination 1 and 9. If you square 1, you get 1. The ending digit is 1. And for 9, you get 81. Again, the ending digit is the same. Alright. And let's take another 2 and 8. If you square the number 2, you get 4. Alright. And 8, you get 64. So 2 and 8, they have the last digits are the same. And same for the 3 and 7. For 3 it is 9 and for 7 it is 49. Again 9 and 9, the last digits are same. And for 4 and 6, right? Again if you square 4, you get 16. The last digit is 6 and same for the 6, 36, 6. Alright. So all the above number combinations have the same last number of their squares. And we also notice one very important thing is that in this column, the number 2, 3, 7, 8 are missing. Right? So it means that numbers ending with 2, 3, 7 or 8 cannot have perfect square root. Now look at this column. It says that the last digit of the square and the last digit of square root. It means if the square ends in 1, the last digit of its square root will be 1 or 9. If the square ends in 4, then the last digit of its square root will be 2 or 8. And if the square ends in 9, then the last digit of its square will be 3 or 7. And if the square ends in 6, then the last digit of the square root will be 4 or 6. We can look in this column, right? So if the last digit of the number is 6, like here, 6 and 6, so the last digit of the square root will be 4 or 6. And if the last digit of if the square ends in the number 5, then the last digit of the square will be 5, and if the square ends with 00, the last digit of the square root will be 0. Now, this column will help you to calculate the square root of numbers, right? So now we will take an example how you calculate the square root of 3-digit, 4-digit or 5-digit numbers. Let us find the square root of 144. In order to find the square root of 144 or any number, if you have to find the square root, you need to memorize this small table where it says that if the unit digit of the number is 0, then the unit digit of the square is 0. And if the unit digit of the number is 1, then the unit digit of the square ends with 1 or 9. Same, if the unit digit of the number is 4, then the unit digit of square ends with 2 or 8. Same, if it is 5, the unit digit of square ends with 5. If the unit digit of the number is 6, then the unit digit of square ends with 4 or 6. And if the unit digit of the number ends in 9, then the unit digit of square is 3 or 7. So let's see how we find the square root of 144. Step 1. Step 1, it says that from right side divide the number in two groups. First group unit and tens digit. Second group rest of the digits. So here 4 unit and tens are 4 and 4. That is your one group. We just put a bar on that. That is your group 1. And the rest of the digit here is only 1, and that you consider it as a second group. So first part is clear, first step is clear, that you divide the number in two groups. Second step, write the ones digit of the answer by looking at the unit digit of the given number. Unit digit ends in 4. So here in our question, the unit digit ends with 4. So if the unit digits end in 4, then the square root or our answer ends with 2 or 8. So that you refer the table. So we write 2 or 8. That is the unit digit of the answer. Now step 3. What you do, you ignore the last two digits. So last two digits are 4 and 4. You just ignore this two digits. And now you find the number whose square is less than or equal to the remaining part of the given number. That is your second group. So we have to find like which is the tens digit for our answer. So what you do, you just ignore this two digits and then you have to think of a number whose square is less than or equal to the number 1. So if you do square of number 1, you get 1, and if you do square of number 2, you get 4. So out of 1 and 2, you have to pick one number. So you are going to pick 1 because when you do the square of number 1, you get 1, and which is less than or equal to the remaining part of the given number, that is 1. So now you have your 12 or 18. So out of 12 or 18, you have to pick 1 as your answer. Now how we are going to decide 12 is our answer or 18 is our answer? Let's see step number 4. Multiply the number with the next natural number. So here you found the number 1, right? So you multiply 1 with the next natural number, that is 2. So 1 times 2 equals 2. Now this product, right? So this product you compare with the second group of number here, that is 1. Alright. So if the second group of number is 1. If 1 is greater than or equal to the product, then you choose the greater number from step 3. Right? Now we have to decide like either your answer is 12 or 18. So what we are going to do? So you multiply 1 with 2, you get the product 2. So you compare 2 with the second group of number. So if the second group of number is less than the product, you choose the smaller number out of these two. So here our product is 2. So 2 is what? 2 is more than 1, the second group of number, or you can say that the second group of number is less than the product. So if the second group of number is less than the product, then you choose the smaller number. So out of 12 or 18, the smaller number is 12. So our answer is 12. So in order to find the square root of 144, you just have to do the simple 5 steps and you get your answer. Let us take another example. Find square root of 256. Step 1. From right side, divide the number in two groups. First group, unit tens digit. So here unit and tens digit is 5 and 6. So we make a one group and we just put a bar on that number. And then the rest of the digit here is 2 that you consider is as a second group. So you just put a small bar on number 2. Step 1 over, you just have to divide the number in two groups. Second step, write the ones digit of the answer by looking at the unit digit of the given number. Unit digit ends in 6. So the square root ends with 4 or 6. Alright, so you refer this small chart that says that if the unit digit of the number ends in 6, then the unit digit of the square is either 4 or 6. Right? And then we put a blank at the tens place. Now we have to decide what number is going to be at tens for our answer. Step 2 over. Step 3, ignore the last two digits. So ignore the last two digits, that is unit and tens digit. So ignore 56, right? And then what you have to do, you have to find out the number whose square is less than or equal to the remaining part of the given number, that is number 2. So if you square 1, you get 1, and if you square 2, you get 4. So out of 1 and 2, you have to decide which one is going to come at the tens place for our answer. So here we are going to consider the number 1 because square of 1 is less than or equal to the number 2. We cannot take 2. Why? Because the square of 2 is 4. 4 is more than the second group of number, that is 2. But we have to think of a number whose square is less than or equal to the remaining part of the given number. Third step over, step 4. Now either we have to decide, either we have answer 14 or 16. Now how we are going to decide which one we are going to pick out of 14 or 16 as our answer? What we do in step 4 is we multiply the number with the next natural number. So number here is at the tens place is 1. We multiply 1 with the next natural number, that is 2. We get 2. And when we get 2, we compare this product with the second group of number, that is 2 here. Alright. If the second group that is 2 is more than or equal to the product, we choose the greater number. Alright. So here 2 equals 2. So when 2 is equal to, this condition satisfies that the second group is equal to the product. Then we choose the greater number. So here greater number is 16. So we pick our answer 16. Find the square root of 961. First step, what you do, you divide the number in two groups. From right side, divide the number in two groups, unit and tens digit as your group 1. So 66 and 1 we consider as group 1. We just put a bar on that. And rest of the digit only here is 9. That is your second group. After first step, after dividing the number in two groups, you just see what you do. Next step is write the ones digit of the answer by looking at the unit digit of the given number. Here unit digit is 1. So unit digit ends in 1. So the square root ends with 1 or 9. Alright, so if you look at this chart, if our given number ends with 1, then the unit digit of the square either ends with 1 or 9. Right, this is your second step. And then we just put a blank here. We need to find the tens digit of our answer. That is, we see at what we are going to do in step 3. Now ignore the last two digits. So ignore 61. Ignore the last two digits, and then you have to find out the number whose square is less than or equal to the remaining number, that is 9. So if you do the square of 3, you get 9. If you do the square of 4, you get 16. So out of 3 and 4, you have to pick one number, but that number should be the number, that number's square should be less than or equal to the 9. So you pick the number 3. So now you have 31 or 39. So out of 31 or 39, you have to pick one as your answer. So let's see what we do at step 4 is multiply the number 3 with the next natural number, that is 4. You get 12. Then you compare this number 12 with the second group, that is your number 9. You compare this product with the number 9. If the second group, that is 9, is more than or equal to the product, that is 12, you choose greater number from step 3. And if the second group is less than the product, you choose smaller number from step 3. Here our product is 12, and 12 is the second group, like 9 is less than 12, or your product is more than the second group of number. So when the second group of number is less than the product, you pick the smaller number from step 3. So our smaller number from step 3 is 31. So your answer is 31. Find the square root of 784. First step, from right side, divide the number in two groups. The first group will have unit and tens digit. So 8 and 4 we consider as a group 1, and we just put a bar on that number. The second group is the rest of the number, that is here only number 7 is there. So you just put a bar on number 7. Second step, what you do, you write the ones digit of the answer by looking at the unit digit of the given number. Here unit digit is 4. So if the unit digit ends with 4, then our unit digit of the square or our answer ends with either 2 or 8. Right? So we write, second step, we write 2 or 8, and then we just put a blank at our tens place. So how do you find the tens place? That you do at number 3, step 3. Now ignore the last two digits. So last two digits are your 8 and 4. Just ignore the 84, and you just see what is left is number 7. Now you have to find the square of a number whose square is less than or equal to the number 7. So if you do 2 square, you get 4. If you do 3 square, you get 9. So out of 2 and 3, you have to pick one number, and that number should be the number square should be less than or equal to the number 7. So you pick number 2. So now you have 22 or 28. Now you have to decide 22 is your answer or 28. So you have to pick one number out of it. So what you do at step 4 is you multiply the number 2 with the next natural number, that is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So step 4, you multiply the number with the next natural number and you get the product 6. Last step, what you do, you compare the product with the second group of number, that is 7. Alright, so if the second group of the number is greater than or equal to the product, you choose greater number from step 3. And if the second group of number, that is 7, is less than the product 6, then you choose smaller number from step 3. So here the second group of number 7 is greater than the product. So if the second group of number is greater than the product, you choose the greater number from step 3. So out of 22 or 28, we are going to consider 28 as our answer because the second group of number 7 is greater than the product. So hence your answer is 28. Find the square root of 7744. Alright, so it is very easy to calculate the square root by using the Vedic method. You just have to remember 5 simple steps. First step, what you do from right side, divide the number in 2 groups, right? From right side. So the first group, what numbers are there in the first group? Only the unit and the tens. And the second group are the rest of the digits are in the second group of numbers. So here we divided 7744 into 2 groups, right? Now for example, if there is another number 1 besides 7, right? 17744, then our first group will be 44 and 177 will be the second group. Alright, so first step is over. So you divided the number into 2 groups. Now second step, what you do? Write the ones digit of the answer by looking at the unit digit of the given number. Now what is the unit digit of the given number? The unit digit is 4. By looking at the unit digit, we can find the answer of our unit digit of the answer. Alright, so here unit digit ends with 4. Alright, if the unit digit ends with 4, then what our answer can be, the unit digit of our answer can be 2 or 8. Alright, so we write here 2 or 8 and we don't know the tens digit of our answer. Alright, now how do you find the tens digit of the answer? So that is the third step. Ignore the first 2 digits. Alright, so ignore the first 2 digits and we look the remaining digit. The remaining digit is 77. Alright, now we have to find out the number whose square is less than or equal to the 77. Alright, so we have to find a number. So we have to think of a number whose square is less than or equal to 77. Alright, now if for example if we take the number 8, right, if we square number 8 we get 64 and if we square number 9 we get 81. Alright, but 77 is more than 64, right, but and 77 is less than 81. So we will consider the number 8. Alright, because we have to find a number whose square is less than the given number. Alright, the given number is here is 77. So we will take 8. So now our answer is like 82 or 88, right? So it can be 82 or 88. Now we have to decide one number out of these two numbers for the final answer. So what is number? Next step. What we do? We multiply the number with the next natural number. So what comes after 8 is 9. Alright, we get 72. Now we are going to compare 72 with the remaining number, that is 77. Alright. Now if 77 is more than this product, then we choose the greater number. What is the greater number? 88. And out of this two, 82 and 88, greater number is 88, right? And in case if the second group of number, like if 77 is less than the product, then we choose the smaller number. Alright. So here our product is 72 and our remaining number 77 is greater than 72. So we are going to pick the greater number, that is 88, and 88 is our answer. We will take another example. Find square root of 25281. The first step, what you do is you divide the numbers from right side. So here first group is 81 and the 252 is the another group. So you divided the number into two groups. Alright. Second step, what you do, you write the ones digit of your answer by looking at the unit digit of the given number. Here the unit digit is 1. So if the number ends with 1, and then the unit digit of a square will be 1 or 9. Alright, so that's how we write here 1 or 9. So we found the unit digit of our answer. So next step is we need to find the another part of our answer, like the tens digit of the answer. So what we do is, in third step, what we do, we ignore the first two, we ignore the last two digits. That is, we ignore the unit and the tens digit of the given number. Alright, and we consider the rest of the digit 252. Alright, now we look at the number 2, the remaining digit 252, and then we have to think of a number whose square is less than or equal to the 252. Alright, so if you take number 15, if you square 15, it is 225, and if you square 16, it is 256. So now you see that 225 is less than 252. Alright, and 256 is more than 252. Alright, but you have to think of a number whose square is less than 252. So you are going to consider the number 15. So now our answer is like 151 or 159. And we have to pick one number for our final answer. And 159 is more than 151. Alright. So let's see out of these two numbers how we are going to pick our final answer. Alright, so the next step, the step 4, is what you do is the number you found here, like 15, you multiply it with the next natural number. So 15 times 16 is 240. Alright, and in the last, what you do is you compare the product, you compare the 240 with the remaining digit, that is 252. So how you compare? If 252 is greater than 240, right, then you choose the greater number here from step 3. Alright, but if your product is greater than 252, then out of these two numbers you choose the smaller number. So here, what is our product? Our product is 240, right, and 240 is less than the 252. Alright, so it means 252 is more than 240. So you are going to pick the greater number. So greater number is 159. So you get the answer 159. We will take another example. Find square root of 17689. The first step, what you do, from right side, divide the number in two groups. So first group of numbers are your unit and tens digit, and second group the rest of the digits. Alright, so first group is 8 and 9, and rest of the digits are 176. Second step, what you do, you write how do you find the unit digit of your answer? So you find the unit digit of the answer by looking at the unit digit of the given number. Here the unit digit of the given number is 9. Alright, so if the unit digit of the number ends in 9, then the unit digit of the square is either 3 or 7. So you write here 3 or 7. Alright, so you found the unit digit of your answer. The next is you find the tens digit of your answer. So what you do in the third step, you ignore the unit digit. Alright, and then you consider the remaining digit 176. Now you have to think of a number whose square is less than or equal to the 176. Alright, so if you take, for example, 13 square, if you do 13 square, you get 169. And if you do 14 square, it is 196. But you have to think of a number whose square is less than or equal to the number 176, that is the remaining digit. So you will consider number 13. So at this stage now we have 133 or 137. So now you have to pick one number out of these two numbers. Alright. Now how we are going to decide like which number is going to be our final answer. So what you do is the next step, you multiply 13 with the next natural number. So 13 times 14 is 182. Alright. The last step is like you compare the product. You compare the product with the remaining digit of the number, that is 176. That is the second group of number, right? If the second group is more than the product, then you choose the greater number. Out of these two, which one is greater, you pick that number. And if the second group of number is like less than the product, right, then you choose the smaller number. All right. So let's see. Here the product is 182. All right. And your remaining digit, the second group of number, you have 176. So 176 is less than the number 182. So at this point, when it is less than the product 182, you are going to pick the smaller number. Alright, the smaller number is 133. So 133 is your answer. I have 10 problems for you to practice. So you find the square root and check your answer on the next page here. Thank you.